But yeah, I think when it comes back down to it, there are. But it's one thing is isolating, all the negativity around that. But there's so many things that you can do that are just natural. But obviously through the media, they're just slamming all these things like homeopathy and chiropractic, and it's always a fight.
So what would you suggest to parents who may have just stumbled across this on the internet and are watching this, and this is the first time they've heard this information? Never heard anything bad about vaccines before. They previously thought that vaccines save the human race. What would you suggest research for them to do, or what to look at, who to look at?
Question. Just question everything. Don't take anything for granted. I was chatting to a lady here who's a nurse, and she said that they're told that nobody should question. So if they're asked about what about the vaccine, I've heard this, they don't say, oh yeah I know, but actually a lot of them do privately on the side tell them I wouldn't do it.
Well, I know that the health professionals in Birmingham were pretty much ordered to all be vaccinated with the swine flu last year, and none of them, I believe, took it, or a very small percentage of them took it.
Yeah, they put the message in the payslips to say come and have your flu vaccine. I just think, look, get informed. Objectively I'd say, well, it's a decision, get all the information, but subjectively, and from what I've, with my friends and certain friends I know that have vaccinated their children and they have health concerns, my heart says don't do it. There are alternative ways to.
Or at least do the research before you do it. Don't just trust a doctor because he lives in your village and he drives a nice car.
That's it, yeah. And the way that they're redoing the NHS now, where they're making the doctors in charge of money, etc., it'll be even more focused on pushing vaccines.
Because they're not business people, they're doctors.
Exactly. So there's quite a bit coming on, but I think if people, I would just say to parents, if you are thinking of vaccinating your children, I know it's you've got your. I understand. I'm a parent as well, and I know it's you just want to get the best for them and do things, but a lot of the time we're kind of pushed into a situation, and I hear it all the time, pushed into a corner. Friends and family are all saying, "Oh, you have to get them vaccinated. You have to get them vaccinated," and just be brave and stand up and say, you know what? No, I'm going to make an informed choice and go and find out about it. And my kids are I'm so happy that we didn't do it, because at the end of the day they don't have any health concerns. They get the odd sniffle here and there, and that's fine.
As all people should do.
They should do, yeah. We should always be testing the immune system, and there's nothing wrong with having measles and things like that. But measles and other sort of childhood diseases are becoming far less, and when they do come out, it's when there's usually been a high uptake of vaccines in that area, and you tend to get an epidemic. Obviously the medical establishment will deny that. And
also if you're thinking about not having the vaccine for your children, when you take them to the school and ask for the waiver form, or ask for the form to say that you're not going to do it, they'll say, well, you're putting everybody else at risk. Yeah, well, how are you putting everyone else at risk if everyone else has had the vaccine and you haven't? Surely you're the only one that can then catch that virus.
Well, the thing is, I just say to them, if why are they worried if they've had the vaccine? If their children have had the vaccine, then obviously they're not going to get it, are they? So why are they worried if my kid gets it to spread it to them? Well, that doesn't make sense, does it?
And they use all of these illogical arguments the whole way through.
Of course, yeah. And they use a lot of propaganda, and they'll use fear, and as we've talked about a lot this weekend, is the fear factor, so to speak, and you've just got to be strong and stand up for what you feel is right. And I've done that, and my wife was a little bit sort of on the fence at first, and but at the end of the day, she's very happy that I got her to do a bit more research, and we have alternative forms of when things do go, when the kids do get ill, we feel more empowered, we feel more in control of that situation, where we can, okay, the boys are getting ill, we need to do this and this. Not, oh God, oh no, I'm going to take him to the doctor.
Herbal remedies is
Yeah, we've got certain herbal remedies, homeopathy, but one thing that really works for acute things, especially when they've got a bit of fever, earache, that type of thing, is chiropractic. I can't speak more for it, and I've got my colleague and good friend, Dr. Matt Flanagan, who's a fantastic chiropractor, and it just frees up the nervous system and it allows the body to get rid of what it does. And I've seen my eldest boy have an earache, and he doesn't usually cry unless he's feeling unwell. And he was crying for 2 hours. I took him round and
gave him a massage, and he was better.
No, he manipulated his
neck
and did things, and within 2 minutes he sat on the couch with his son, Matt's son, and watched a DVD, and it's just instantly it was a lot better. So
brilliant.
There are other ways out there, but people just become so ingrained with believing what the media's been telling them.
The pharmaceutical companies have a lot of money and they have a lot of power.
They do, and just recently that the THMPD, which is the herbal directive that's just come out now. So
Codex Alimentarius.
It's part of a bigger picture. But what they've done now is there's probably about 10,000 herbs that you could probably use, but now companies have to buy licences to do it,
which is just a stealth tax, surely.
It is, but also it then restricts how many herbs are coming now. So now people are, the pharmaceutical companies can afford these licences, but companies, the smaller companies, like I work for, I won't say which company it is, but at 80 to 120,000 pounds per licence per herb, just to be able to sell it in a
local shop.
Not in a health shop.
In a chain, or.
But I think with things like rhodiola or St John's wort, or all these different things, you have to buy a licence for them, and it's just coming from the EU. It's coming from bureaucrats who are just making decisions.
So you're not a fan of the EU either?
No, let's not go there. No, but then I've been interested in the first thing that I think woke a lot of people up is the 9/11 and what was behind that, and reading a lot of David Icke books and Michael Tazarian. I love his stuff, which sort of delves more to the darker side and the fear side of yourself, and also Jordan Maxwell, who was his kind of mentor, I just say to everyone, look, just have an open mind, don't not believe anything, because anything's possible. And like I'm saying here, I mean, don't take any word that I say for there's gospel.
Do your
own
research
yourself and have a look. There's not been too many studies to show the comparisons between unvaccinated and vaccinated children. Only some very small studies, but those small studies were pretty significant. I think one study showed that vaccinated children had 23% higher chance of...
Are there any references that you can point people towards?
I haven't got it, not right now, but I could.
Okay, well maybe I'll grab those off and you put them on the video.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I've got some, I've got a book in the car, so...
If I give you my email address or something.
Yeah, I'll give you pass it over. But I mean, a good way to start, I think, is probably having a look at Dr. Andrew Wakefield and what he's done, and get past all the controversy around it, and actually look at the science and look at what he was actually trying to do, because they've obviously jangled it into something more than what it was, but they couldn't scientifically disprove what he found. So that to me just says everything. It was the whole propaganda around it, making him be this bad person that people, then they chucked in a few little things. There's a great homeopath called Trevor Gunn. He's done a lot of stuff with vaccinations and stuff, and
even Jenny McCarthy and Jim Carrey have a autism vaccine related group. Yeah, in America,
so there's that stuff. I mean, there's tons. I mean, obviously www.arnica.org, that will get you. There's some of the website links on there as well, and Anna Watson, who runs the Arnica group in Kingston, should be more than happy to help out with any questions and directing you anywhere, and there's lots of information on there. And we run, there's different Arnica groups around the country as well, particularly more in the southeast, but it's no reason that in Surrey they've got the lowest uptake of vaccinations.
So you'd encourage people to possibly start their own Arnica group if there's not one in the area.
Yeah, if they're really, they can get in touch with Anna and she can point them in the right direction with that. Yeah, she's great.
That's brilliant. I think.
All right. Well, thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
No, that's cool.
Lovely to meet you at Truth Juice 2011.
Yeah. You too as well, John.
Cheers,
Fantastic.
mate.